Lunch with Leah, episode 415. And here's Leah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to freezing Miami. It was 40 in the middle of the night, which never happens here. I think it's 66 now. It's kind of comfortably cold. I don't know. Oh, I forgot I have my sunglasses on. Oh, you know, I'm literally
She's looped
crazy.
out.
First of all, I got this horrible cold, and it started with a sore throat. Then it went to a head cold. Then it went to a cough. Then it went to congestion. Then it went to a runny nose. And I just went on and on. It's been going on for a week, and I haven't gotten out of bed for a week. Today's my first day. And I guess from laying in the bed for so long, my back went out. I could hardly walk. So then I get here this morning, and Jason's back's out because he got tons of pallets of skincare came in yesterday. And instead of calling us and saying, I need help, Paul, Roy, RJ, James, anybody, he unloaded all those boxes himself. 63 big boxes. I need you guys to order. The warehouse is so full we can't breathe. We have a trail. We can hardly get through. So order. We've got to clean out this inventory. I mean, it's just overwhelming. Anyway, so the reason...
Well, they can see all the boxes behind you.
Oh, that's just part of them.
Just,
oh, my God.
The whole safe is full and everything.
I give up. Let's just sell all this stuff and retire. Anyway, so the reason I have my sunglasses on is because when I got in the car, I couldn't get anything together, and Freda put them on me, and I forgot even let her have them on. I could barely get the dog in the car. My back was killing me so bad. This is crazy.
I saw you walking in. I was like, oh my goodness, she's like taking baby steps.
And then anyway, but I love these glasses.
They're really
Dutch,
cool.
the guy that owns Dan Dutch gave them to me. Aren't they fabulous?
They
really
are fabulous.
Are fabulous. Don't you like them?
Yeah.
They're very cool and chic. Anyway, so there's that. Somebody just wear them for a few minutes.
I think Leah's been in the CBD this morning.
Yeah,
She's got her sunglasses on.
I need it. Well, you know, it's not dark and dreary out. The sun is shining, but it's cold. It's kind of perfect weather.
Oh, it's really cold.
Like when I used to ski and the sun would come out and you'd still have all the snow to ski on. It was great. It's kind of like that.
Are you going to talk about the iguanas falling?
Now what happened?
So the National Weather Service last night issued for South Florida a warning to everyone that the iguanas would probably become cathartic, or what is it called?
Freeze.
Where they get cold because when the temperature gets below 40, they can't regulate their body temperature and they just fall out of the trees. And they said that we would probably have iguanas fall. No, they said when the temperature warms back up, they'll come back up to life. But they said if you see a bunch of iguanas laying around with their feet up in the air this morning, not to do anything, they'll be gone when they get.
Oh my God. The world literally is coming to an end.
We're raining iguanas in
Miami. There's a climate crisis everywhere. Oh my God, Trump was at Davos. He goes, the environment is very important to me. Meanwhile, they're right now deregulating Roundup, which they know causes cancer. They deregulated the stuff to keep the water clean. I mean, the list is endless, and they all want clean air and clean water. As they're deregulating the emissions controls, I mean, the world is literally upside down. Anyway.
Juliet Sun Design says falling dragons just like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's it. Oh my God. Well, anyway, so RJ's in his dorm. It's all cute and dolled up, and he's made a few friends, and he's been going out with some of his friends he met in junior high and elementary school that were in town.
That's good.
So you got that going, and then, oh my God, I forgot I had jury duty. This week has been a month. I went to jury duty. That's when I got sick. I think I got sick from the jury duty because it was so overwhelming amount of people in such small amounts of spaces. And I always took the escalator instead of the elevator, but people are coughing and hacking, and I was just like, oh my God, and I kept cleaning my hands. But I wound up getting sick, I think, from the jury duty, so I didn't get picked on the jury. Shock, but I was there a day and a half. Too much. Well, I was not the right kind of a case for me. I'm just telling you right now. 2 kids getting in trouble with the gun? No, I don't think so. Anyway, so Michael Avenatti, who's our friend, The government is out to get him. I mean, he's a target of #1 Justice Department target because, of course, he tried to bring Trump down with the Stormy Daniels thing, and you know Trump's very revengeful. So I'm convinced that the Justice Department's behind it because they arrested him a week before his trial, citing that he violated his bail. What they're saying he violated is he got a fee that came in from a case that was very legitimate, and instead of giving that money to the government, he used it to help defend himself and pay his bills and live. And they came in and said, oh no, you can't do that. You should have just handed the money over either to your creditors or to us, and they took him in. Well, they didn't just take him in, they put him in solitary confinement.
Oh my gosh.
And they're saying it's for his own protection. Well, that's just not true. They have him in New York in the same cell that El Chapo is in. He's in a cell block with 4 terrorists. No. Can you imagine? I mean, you talk about vindictive, mean punishment. I mean, this is just out of control. The Justice Department Barr has his hands so far on the scale on anything that Trump wants. It's just embarrassing.
It's the whole government. The whole
they're scared of him.
Thing is a mess.
Well, Les Parnas, when he came out the other day, he goes, if you notice when Trump really got his powers, when Barr got behind him, and now everyone's scared to death they're going to get indicted and thrown in jail, so they just go along with him. That's what happens when countries become from a democracy to an autocracy to a dictatorship.
Yep.
I mean, that's really what's going on.
Yep.
Anyway, Kelly Dodd's
sure.
been texting me. She said she wanted to know if I wanted to get together. I told her I was sick. She said she would come to the Gables. But I guess that birthday party, is it Monday?
It's Sunday or Monday,
I think it's
yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
I won't be feeling ready to go to that. I can't even walk. I can't breathe, and I can't. I can't. It's too much. But anyway, so I guess that birthday party.
It's going to be a big deal. I mean, it's like been picked up in the press that she's throwing it. It's going to be like crazy.
You think they don't know how to work that press?
You know, housewives flying in from all over the country in different cities.
So sorry, I'm going to miss it. If you guys want to go, I'll get you in.
No, I'm only going to go if you're going to go so I can photograph you enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of.
I know, that's not your thing.
You know, in fact, when I was 20, 25, 30, 35, I never was the girl that went to the clubs or went to the 4-hour lunches with the girls or went to the nightclubs or wanted to be seen or wanted my picture taken. I just was never. I was never into that, and
right.
I can't wrap my head around the people that are. Now, I get the birthday thing, and God bless her, and she's doing a great job, and I love her for it, and she's madly in love with this guy, and all that's great. But it's such a scene. For me, I'd like to have an intimate. I wouldn't want to have a birthday party. I'd be embarrassed to have a birthday party about myself. Jason and I never mention our birthdays. But I just can't imagine. There's going to probably be 300, 400, 500 people. What an S show that's going to be. But it's the Super Bowl, too. Remember, that's
I know.
It's after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So everybody's in town for the Super Bowl, so everybody wants to go and see and be seen and be at the party and everything. I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl, do you?
Yes, it's Kansas and San Francisco.
Who do we want to win?
I'm
going to say San Francisco.
I don't know. I don't keep up with baseball, so I don't know.
No, Kansas is a kind of a red state. I'm not voting for rooting for anybody that's pushing anything.
They put something in the aquarium this morning, and the Sharks all went to San Francisco. So they're saying that's the prediction this morning.
Well, I still am upset that they don't have Colin Kaepernick playing. Yeah. I think that's horrible.
Yeah, I'm mad
at them over that too.
My dad told me the other day he hasn't watched an NFL game since they started the whole kneeling thing, but he used to watch like Sundays and stuff. My grandparents and my grandfather and him, they would always sit around watching football. I mean, that's what they did. And now they don't do it now at all. It's like,
well, there's too much else going on.
Yeah.
So then Tom Arnold is texting me every 5 minutes. He's in a big custody battle with his ex-wife over his kids, and he's moving into a new house. And then Jeff's in a custody battle with Gage. Apparently, Gage is trying to put a gag order on him for the radio. Good luck with that. I mean, the custody battles are that's a full-time job. Then, of course, the weather got cold and turned on us, and everyone's loving it in Florida because it's never cold here. So there's a lot going on. Then Freda went to Ecuador. Okay, so Freda goes to Ecuador for 10 or 11 days. So her flight gets in at 4:40 in the morning. So I am so sick I can't even breathe, but I set my alarm for 4:30. She got in at 4:04. I set my alarm for 4:15 to get up to make sure when she came home that, someone was there in the kitchen to see her and give her dog and the whole thing. It was the wrong damn day, Jason. And so I confirmed it twice, by the way.
She did a dry run.
Twice. She confirmed it with Jason and Heidi twice, and it was the wrong day. It wasn't that hard to figure out, but they didn't, and so I got up for no reason on that day. Then I had to do it again the next day. Now, Freda comes back. Her hair has got braids in it out to here. She looks like, who are those girls that braid all their hair out the most? That's how she looks. It looks cute. Yeah. Anyway, so she got her hair all braided in Ecuador, and she had fun at the wedding. And then last week we had Dave here with Sunshine. He's our CBD guy. He came in, did a bunch of videotaping, and I don't know what all. What did we accomplish while he was here? Did we accomplish anything? I think I made a video. That was one accomplishment. And then we talked a lot about nothing. It's kind of like Seinfeld. I don't know. Something's good is going to come out of it, though. He's going to come back this week, the end of the week, or the beginning of next week. I hope it's the beginning of next week. I don't think I can get out of bed this week. And now our oil has been ordered. Did you order it?
Yes.
Yes. So we have 1,000 milligrams. Are you listening? 1,000. That's 1,000 milligrams of CBD, pure, high-grade, clinical-grade CBD oil coming out, and you're going to love it. I've been testing it now for 2 months. We've done focus groups with it. We've got scientific studies behind it. We've got chemists that are just screaming about how great it is. It's for lines, wrinkles, remember, around the mouth. Everyone's been talking about the little lines around the mouth and on the chest. It's to lubricate your skin. It's phenomenal, and it's not oily and greasy. You put it on, it goes right in, and then I love it. I love it, love it, love it. You're going to love it, love it, love it. But it's 1,000 milligrams, so it's not going to be cheap, but it's going to last you a very long time. It takes like 3 drops. And then, the front page of the LA Times had a big feature on Frankie Grande playing France in the Rock of Ages. Did you see that?
Yeah,
it was huge.
There's been a lot of press. I've been seeing a lot of press over it, and it's really good. I'm very happy for him.
And his birthday's coming up the 24th of this month. So what sign would that be, Aquarius?
24th of this month?
Yeah, I think that's Aquarius, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, he's Aquarius. That's why we get along. I'm Pisces.
Pisces is next.
Yay, Frankie. Ask me anything on social media. Well, let me put on my Dan Deutsch glasses. Have you seen the new Hillary Clinton documentary coming out on Hulu? I read about it. And you know what? I love Hillary because, first of all, they have tried to take the Clintons down for 40 years. They've investigated Whitewater. They've investigated Benghazi. They've investigated everything, every emails, and they've never been able to ever convict them of anything. It's always been a political prosecution, and the only thing you've ever gotten on the Clintons is a consensual sexual blowjob that he shouldn't have done. He shouldn't have done it, but that's nothing to compare with what's going on now. And so she's finally, I think, just said, you know what, I've heard it all, seen it all, had enough. I'm just going to speak my piece. So she's coming out with this documentary, which would truly be interesting, and she basically threw some shade at Bernie Sanders. She said, listen, no one likes him. No one likes working with him. There's only one senator in the entire Senate that would work with him. And she's not that supportive of him. And I don't blame her. The way he acted the last time, I'm going to take this fight to the convention. And then the Russian trolls were helping him, and Trump was trying to help him, and everyone was trying to help him, and he still was behind 3 to 4 million votes, and he still took the fight to the convention to divide the party, and he never really got behind her when she got the nomination. He's an independent, not a Democrat to begin with. And then his top girl, what's her name, Stein, Nina or whatever her name is, she goes and endorses Jill Stein the day after he didn't get the nomination. So I don't have too much regard for him either, but on the other hand, he's better than Trump, no question about that.
But she did say this morning that, she stands by what she said, but that if he got the nomination, she'd get behind him.
Yeah, everybody will, but everybody's just saying if he gets the nomination, we're going to lose because he's just too not mainstream enough. Let me tell you, Trump would love to run against the socialists. Have you noticed Trump's been tweeting to pump him up? Oh, they're rigging it against Bernie again. Oh, they're trying to keep Bernie from winning again. Trump is dying to run against Bernie. It'll be a landslide, a socialist against a capitalist. It's over. What does my husband think of Trump's impeachment lawyers? He thinks that the best that can come out of the impeachment is that the public sees Trump exposed and votes against him. That they're all just going to do whatever they have to, say whatever they have to.
It's going to be a cover-up.
Not always say the truth, and it's definitely a cover-up. Emily Dowdery from the UK. Hi, Emily. Will you be watching me in the Miami Marathon February 5th? Are you going to be in the Miami Marathon?
She is. She actually texted me yesterday, and she's going to maybe stop by while we do the show that week she's here.
Come by, but I guess we'll watch you. Good for you.
She's running. She's been training and all this stuff, and she's going to be here a week, and she's our distributor in the UK. So
so good for you, Emily. I would run with you, but my back is out. At Louis de Fifth, bonjour from France. We just got the Real Housewives of Miami in France. I love you on this show. How many years was this show? Why did you stop filming? You look better now. Well, I hope I look better now. I think the camera people and the lighting people just really didn't like me. Well, I used to be in France a lot. I had my skincare products over there. So I am hoping maybe that all those people will go, oh my God, that's Leah with the skincare. Let's order again. We can order from Emily in the UK. The show was on 3 years. It stopped filming because they didn't renew it. And of course I look better now. I think it must be that CBD. So if you want the CBD products, use the podcast, which is your promo code, PODCAST, for 50% off the CBD skincare products, the Sudden Youth Lift Kit, which is 8 to 10 facials, which lifts, tones, firms, tightens, and makes you look younger. And free shipping is over $50. And we have some Valentine gifts. You want to go to our Instagram and check all of our Facebook stuff and catch the Valentine specials.
Yeah, we have a special we're going to announce this week, but we have to iron out a few things before we get it there.
And then send in your testimonials for a chance to win a free product. We're going to have a drawing at some point. We're going to put them all in a box and have a drawing. Okay. Now, email us at hello@leahblack.com and leave a post, a comment, or a direct message for our social media, and we always reply back. Listen to what our customers are saying about the Leah Black Beauty Skincare. I wanted to make sure, these are unsolicited too, this is from Regina D. I wanted to make sure to write and let you know how amazing your products have been for me. I just turned 40 and have been seeing some serious aging in my face, from uneven skin texture to drooping eyes, cheeks, under the skin, chin. I'd been spending money all over the place trying to find the right match for my skin and face, but I never saw such quick, drastic changes as I have with Leah Black products. It's totally insane. Oh my God, I love this. I've only been using the Daily Wash and Anti-Aging Serum since Saturday, and I felt the tightening on day 1. But today, as I look in the mirror, I now have elasticity in my 20s. My face is not drooping anymore. Thank you, Leah Black. You've definitely made me a loyal customer. I'm not only going to be purchasing more for myself, but my husband actually wants to try, which is a lot to say for him because he's a pretty simple person that doesn't care to try new products. Again, thank you for these amazing products from Regina D. Men are using it. In fact, men are about 30 to 40% of our customer base, number one. Number two, that what I love about these testimonials is they're organic. We're not asking for them. They're coming in on their own. And I will tell you that they are always reordering. And you know, you said your husband doesn't like a big bunch of hoopla about trying new products. That's the simplicity of this line. You wash in the morning, you put on the serum and the moisture. You wash at night, you put on the serum and the moisture. And then I use the eye cream twice a day. Once a week you do the facial, and you use when you're in the shower, use the exfoliant a couple of times a week and you're done. It's like literally, 20 minutes a week. There's nothing to it. It's simple, easy, but you're getting the maximum results. I've just never been a fan of spending 20, 30 minutes a day on my skin or my makeup or obviously my hair. I think you got to have stuff that's quick, easy, and get it done. So meanwhile, while I was laying in bed doing nothing, I watched the Housewives of New Jersey this season. Oh my God.
I was going to bring it up today. I think out of all of the the last seasons of any of the franchises, New Jersey's right now is the best it's been for a while. People want to know if that's the coronavirus, by the way.
It could be. 6 people have died from it. Now someone has it in Seattle.
Yep.
I will say that
It's not getting a lot of like attention, but I got to tell you, it's the only one that I'm like looking forward to every week.
It's very organic and raw.
Yeah.
But you know, as much as Teresa has got that temper, and as much as she's not always right, thank you, Jason, and as much as she, you know, I don't even know the word for it because I like her, but I mean, she's dysfunctional in a way. Let's be honest. There's been a lot. She has really stood the test of time on that show. I mean, she puts it all out there. She puts the kids out there, the husband's out there. She's honest. She's not phony. And I have to tell you, I've learned to really respect and admire her. I mean, she has been through so much. She's still working full-time, writing books full-time, making appearances full-time, raising 4 girls, looking after her dad that has pneumonia, trying to get her husband out of jail, who's now in Italy, probably helping to support him. I mean, she's been through it all. I'm not that strong. I don't think I could do it. I'm just not that strong. So God bless her. I'm rooting for her. But I will say, with that fight with Danielle and Margaret started it.
Daniel pushed her first, though.
So what? You don't pour water on somebody's head in the middle of a store.
Well, that whole thing was a mess.
Push her buttons or not.
But did you see what Teresa did later after that?
I don't know.
Then they were at another party at the end of the show, and Teresa was talking with one of the other girls, and she was like, you know, come on, it was just water. And she goes, oh, it was just water?
I saw
and she
that.
picked up a bottle and poured it over her at the other event. So,
listen, Danielle pushes the buttons, but you don't have to take the bait. And she took the bait, and I don't agree with all the things Danielle does, but let me tell you, if somebody poured water on my head like that, I'd probably do or say something. I might take the high road and just walk out, but that's more my nature.
I would have had my mug shot in Versace.
That is not Danielle's nature. And the fact she pulled Margaret's hair didn't surprise me. Listen, they pulled Danielle's hair before, and everyone sided with the girl that pulled Danielle's hair. So. It's a shit show, there's no doubt, but it's actually it's really good.
Yeah, it has been really good
this year. I've heard that Beverly Hills is going to be really good. Lisa Renner told me it's going to be really, really good once you get into it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
there's all kinds of crap going on with Brandy and Denise. I know that. There's been a lot this week coming out about that, too.
Yeah, if they had that affair or not. Listen, I think everything Brandy touches.
Denise just stopped filming, though. She's not shown up or anything.
Well, maybe her husband had enough, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so in celebrity news, this singer, David Olney, have you guys heard of him? He's 71 years old. So he's playing as a concert, sitting in the chair, playing as a guitar, singing. He drops this, he said, oh, I'm sorry, drops his head, and he's dead. And they tried to revive him, and they couldn't revive him, and he died on stage.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, I guess if you're going to die and you're performing, that's not a bad way to do it, but how horrible. The SAG Awards, I didn't watch all of them, I watched part of them, but the interesting one for me was that Parasite won the first foreign language film. It was the first foreign language film to win
Best Film.
Best Film. I mean, that's pretty amazing. I told you guys when I saw Parasite, I said, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was a fluke that I went. It's not something I would normally go to. Roy Jr. and Roy were going, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go. I mean, I'm so glad I saw it. It's winning so many awards. And Brad Pitt won again. And Jennifer Aniston won. And now there's a big rumor that they have chemistry together. Oh, I'll believe it when you see it. So Pamela Anderson marries John Peters. Remember the famous hairdresser who was married to Barbara Streisand at one time, and then he became a big movie mogul, made a lot of films. He made that one, oh my God, with Sybil Shepherd, and he's made a lot of films. So they go get married on the QT. What do you think of that? Pamela Anderson, he's 20 years older than her, but I don't know. She's been married, they've both been married 5 times. Yeah. That's a long time to be married, a lot of times to be married.
For sure.
What was it, 30 years ago?
Well, they weren't married, they were dating. Yeah, they dated 30, and he's been in love with her ever since, he says. I like Pamela. You know what I like? She's got a big heart. She tries to help the animals. She came to our charity. She worked the room like a pro. She sat in everybody's lap, got her picture taken, donated $28,000 in scholarships. I mean, she's a good girl. I like her. Now, what about, you guys think about the tennis player?
She's on the Trump train.
I don't think so. She likes Julian Assange, but I'm not sure she likes Trump.
I don't know. I think
What
I've
do
seen
you
her.
guys think about the tennis player that wanted that girl to peel his banana when he was sitting on the side of the court? Did you see that?
No, I have no idea what you're
Okay,
talking
so in the middle of the tournament, he's sitting there. You know how they get their break? So the ball girl or one of those girls brings in the banana, and he asks her to peel it for him. Everybody's up in arms. I mean, the referee reprimanded him, and then the girl was so insulted, and I can't believe he asked me to peel his banana. I mean, get over yourselves. The guy's playing. He's exhausted. His hands are sweaty. He's like, would you mind peeling me the banana? I mean, I wouldn't take offense to that. I'd peel the damn banana. I'd feed it to you if it helps you do good in your game. I don't think it was condescending or sexist or arrogant or anything else. I think the guy's exhausted. His hands are probably sweaty. He needs the banana for the carbs or whatever, the potassium or whatever. Yeah. And she starts to hand it. He goes, oh, would you mind peeling it? Probably so he can continue to wipe his face and hands and get his thoughts together. And it becomes the biggest damn thing at the tournament. People are just too sensitive.
People are just looking for anything to outrage. It's like 1 minute to the next.
I just can't believe it anymore. Now, Taylor Swift's mother, who's been fighting breast cancer for a long period of time, now they find during her routine checkup for breast cancer that she has a brain tumor. That's horrible. I mean, the poor thing.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at something else. Someone wrote, LOL, that Juliet's son design says, LOL, that story's bananas.
It is.
It is bananas.
Well, anyway, we're sending Taylor Swift's mother our blessings.
Yes,
I feel
for
terrible
sure.
at that. Meanwhile, did you see they posted on Gucci Instagram their new clothes for the season? Did anybody see that?
I saw some. I got an
They
email.
look
They're
like
horrible.
a bunch of hobos.
I know.
What is wrong with Gucci? It went from elegant, fabulous to rapper trash.
Yeah.
I was so disgusted. I mean, I like jeans without a rip, but they had the crummy shoes and the jeans were ripped and the plaid tops that were too big. And I was so disappointed. What was going on with that brand? Who's the designer behind that brand now?
Meanwhile, Versace looks fabulous for
Jason?
spring.
His name's Alessandro.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, what about Versace?
I said, meanwhile, Versace looks fabulous for spring.
Yeah, Versace,
It's very
has
preppy.
stepped up their game.
It's a very preppy look they've got
They were
going.
number 5 of the fashion houses last year, and it shows. But, that Donatella, you got to give her credit. She took the reins and she ran with them, and she's really turned the brand into something.
Yeah. Especially when she pulled out all the old archives, started using those.
Nice.
That's when it's...
And then Vincent van Gogh's self-portrait. Remember, there's always been a controversy about if Vincent van Gogh really painted his own portrait. Because back then it would be hard to do. They didn't have all the tools available. And it turns out they authenticated, whatever. They authenticated whatever. He did. He painted his own one. So
He did it.
He did it. So I thought that was interesting. What a genius he was. His art was a little dark. We had Starry Nights, and we had some big pieces, but he really was the real deal. So there's that. Meanwhile, this is all your celebrity gossip. Robert De Niro got a Lifetime Achievement Award at SAG. His speech was controversial, but not really. Most people agreed with him that there's right and there's wrong, whether it's legal or not. So meanwhile, in royalty news, that Piers Morgan, what a piece of work he is. So listen to what he says. He says that when Harry made that heart-wrenching speech about why that they felt they had no choice but to leave the UK royalty, for the time being anyway, here's what Piers writes. Spare me your patriotic crocodile tears, Harry. You didn't have to quit. You chose to ditch the Queen, the monarchy and your military royal comrades, and your country to become a royal Kardashian and keep Meghan happy. What the hell do you know, Pierce? You don't know. You don't know. That you made their point. This is why they left, because of the press and the tabloids and the people like you. You just made their point. Oh, I just couldn't stand that part of it. And his speech was so heartbreaking. You could tell he was so sad. And you said that you could tell he was holding back a lot of things that he would have liked to have said. He implicated the press, but in a very a gentle way. It was very appropriate. You know, the Brits, they always have that upper lip. You know, he didn't trash them like they would here in the States. Anyway, so apparently now I guess they're going to leave, and Prince Charles is going to help fund their lifestyle for a while. But, you know, the number one thing I hope that they get is security. I think they're going to need security. Look what happened to Princess Diana when they cut off her security.
They had problems yesterday with the whole thing. So, I mean, actually someone here is just commenting, Sylvie Daughtery, also saying that, you know, they're now suing the Paps in Canada over the pic yesterday in the park. But, you know, it's just... I'm a little disappointed. I have to say, like, I guess I don't get the whole fascination. I think they're interesting, and we love the royals and all that kind of stuff over here because it's something we don't have yet. but the thing is that
love the trash.
You know, I think that I watched Graham Norton the other night. I watch Graham Norton every week. I love that. It's a UK talk show, and they were really harsh and mean with her with some of the comments that they made the other night in his monologue, and I was shocked that he was doing that.
No wonder they want to
It's like
leave.
I would have got out of there too.
But here's some examples of how they've been unfair with Meghan. Kate's stylish coat coordinated perfectly with the Queen. Nice picture of the Queen and Kate. Then you have right next to it another picture with the Queen and Meghan, how Meghan Markle's confusion over a hat nearly got her into big trouble with the Queen. Well, in the picture with Kate, she didn't have a hat on.
Yeah.
But they criticized Meghan for not having a hat on.
Yeah.
Another one, not long ago, pregnant Kate tenderly cradles her baby bump while wrapping her royal duties ahead of maternity leave, and William confirms she's due any minute now. This picture of Kate holding her belly when she's pregnant. Here they got Meghan holding her belly while she's pregnant. Why can't Meghan Markle keep her hands off her bump? Experts tackle the question that has got the nation talking. Is it pride, vanity, acting, or a new age bonding technique? Same exact thing, and they criticize Meghan and praise little Kate. Somebody inside that...
There's an agenda.
Yeah, but somebody inside the palace has a PR team.
Yeah.
And they're working on making Kate look good and her look bad. Mm-hmm. Kate's morning sickness cure, Prince William gifted her with an avocado for pregnant Duchess. Then you go to Meghan. Meghan Markle's beloved avocado is linked to human rights abuse and drought. Millennial shame.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
How more obvious could they be?
Oh my God. Are you okay?
Kate and Williams, Duke and Duchess, secretly set up companies to protect their brand, just like the Beckhams, and they're romantically kissing each other.
Yep.
Then you go over here to Harry and Meghan, a royal cash-in. How the Prince Harry and Meghan Markle trademarked over 100 items from hoodies to socks 6 months before they split with the monarchy with a new empire. So when Kate and William do it, they're just protecting their brand like the Beckhams. And when the Prince Harry and Meghan do it, they're just being greedy.
Right. It's horrible.
I mean, it's just one after the other. How Kate scented the Abbey. It was reported that the new Duchess of Cambridge requested her favorite scented candles and toiletries from luxury fragrance brand Jo Malone to be delivered to the scent of the Abbey. A selection of candles, hand washes, and lotions was requested specifically in citrus spring scents, including orange blossom, grapefruit, and the ever-popular lime, basil, and mandarin. These were for use inside the Abbey and for wedding guests, using the royal bathroom and 6 additional VIP bathrooms. Now, what happens when Meghan does it? Kicking up a stink. Dictatorial bride Meghan wanted her fresh air for the musty 15th century St. George Chapel, but the palace said no. So Kate can do it, but Meghan can't.
Yeah, Sylvie Daughtery says, remember, this is all the tabloids and BuzzFeed, not the palace, so it's BS.
And you know what? But somebody at the palace is leaking all this bullshit. Yeah. Sarah Vine, how Kate went from drab to fab, from eyebrows and Pilates to a new style guru. Our experts reveal the Duchess of Cambridge's secrets to looking sizzling. Sarah Vine, same person. My memo to Meghan Markle following her Vogue editorial. We Brits prefer true royalty to fashion royalty. What a bitch that Sarah Vine, what's her name, Vine? They need to get rid of her. I wouldn't let her work for me. Another one, the Express News. Why you can always sit with flowers while Kate is sitting there holding her little flowers. And when it gets down to Meghan, royal wedding, how Meghan Markle's flowers may have put Princess Charlotte's life at risk because she's allergic to the same flowers that Kate Middleton was holding. Oh my God, these people. One last one. Beaming Kate gazes lovingly at sleeping Prince Louis as he and William attend his christening and their first appearance as a family of 5, but the Queen misses the big day. Here it is about Meghan, the Daily Mail. The Queen won't be at Archie's christening because of Meghan and Harry and the mystery godparents planned to baptize him today, but had to rearrange when they realized Her Majesty and Prince Charles were already busy. So the Queen doesn't make it to Prince Louis's. It's fine. But he doesn't make it to Meghan's baby, and oh my God, Meghan and them schedule it so the Queen couldn't be there. Oh my God, I can't take it anymore.
It's too much. We need to take our 5-second break for our commercial advertisers, and we'll be right back. And we're back.
In Florida news. Well,
Florida.
Oh my God. So, this is unbelievable. This guy's naked walking through Walmart, eating cheese cubes, butter smeared on his face, and a 3-pound bag of grapes on his back. Nothing unusual there. Another one, Florida woman, somebody Lopez, was arrested for rolling through Walmart while drinking wine and eating muffins. She ate a rotisserie chicken and had $36.36 worth of items in Citrus County, Florida.
They're closing some grocery store chain here in Florida that I don't know how I never heard of this, but apparently they serve you beer and wine when you go in the store, and they have like little carts that you just put your glass on. And they give you so you drink while you shop.
Yeah, the more drunk you get, the more you buy.
I know. They're closing
Florida
it.
iconic reefs are containing only 2% of the cover that they had compared to 40% a few years ago. So the Florida reefs are being destroyed by the climate and the abuse of the oceans. In gun news, 2 were killed and 2 wounded in a Publix work building in North Carolina. An NBC reports South Carolina man and his 9-year-old daughter accidentally were shot while mistaken for deer by a fellow hunter. 2 dead and several injured in Kansas City bar after the Chiefs win. San Antonio, 2 dead and 5 injured at the nightclub. In Dallas, a 15-year-old boy arrested for shooting that broke out this month at his high school at a basketball game, and 1 person died. More guns have been seized at the airport this last year than in an 18-year history. A boy with a gun killed 3 children and a woman inside a Utah home, 5 victims. Miami's 16-year-old sustained a gunshot to the head and is in critical condition at Ryder Trauma. So if anybody doesn't want to go and fight the gun war, it could be us next.
Mm-hmm.
The Women's March. Did you guys watch the Women's March? Weather was cold, but they still had a big showing. This is a kind of an anti-Trump, pro-Planned Parenthood type of march. The next decade, here are the things that the CNN says we need to be concerned about. Major health challenges, climate change, infectious disease, anti-vaxxers. You know what? I think if you don't want to have your kids get vaccinated, that's fine. Just don't let them go out in public. No problem. Keep them at home. They don't have to get vaccinated. But if you don't get vaccinated, you don't get to go out in public and spread the germs around. Antimicrobial resistance, health care amongst the conflict in a crisis, so there's going to be a big healthcare scare, and that we need to have more healthcare. Those are the things we need to be worried about. That the healthcare industry is not fair. So those are the things we have to worry about. That's a lot to worry about. Vaccines, disease, the climate, the healthcare. I can't anymore. It's just getting so exhausting. Meanwhile, they just determined the 737 MAX discovered an issue with the flight computers. Now, is anyone else disgusted that they are now finding this? They've been covering it up. They've had plenty of time to find this. And by the way, if 2 planes wouldn't have crashed within a month of each other in exactly the same way, I'm wondering if they still would have been doing investigations. Shame on Boeing. A man found $43,000 in a used couch and returned it to the family of the deceased. So a man dies, donates the couch to some kind of a Goodwill store, whatever. A guy buys it, goes home, finds $43,000 in a box inside the couch. Instead of keeping the money, he goes back to the antique store, the Goodwill store, wherever, finds out who donated the couch, and then gives the money to his family. Isn't that lovely? I think it's lovely.
That's wonderful.
China has reported the first death from the outbreak of the mystery virus. Now I think they're up to 6. Someone in Seattle has it. Australian researchers claim that they have a way to battery that can keep a smartphone charged for 5 days and keep a car running for 600 miles. Well, if that's true, that's going to be a major breakthrough in climate and emissions and batteries and charging and all of that. That's going to be great for the climate. But the part that's interesting about that is it's Australia that's finding that out. Where is the U.S.? Why are we not leading in technology? And why are we not doing things to improve the climate and help build jobs in a new sector? Why are we the ones that are following the other countries now? We used to be the leader and the innovator, and now we're out of everything. We're out of the loop. We're back in the Neanderthal years, fighting over whether a woman should have a right to choose and deregulating car emissions that before, when we didn't have the regulations, you couldn't see 10 feet in front of you in California. We're going backwards in this country. Everyone else is leaving us in the dust. In Waco, Texas news, RJ likes this. He loves Waco, Texas. Mars Wrigley plant made a 43,000-pound bar of Snickers. It's 26 feet wide, 26 inches wide, and it's like 1,000 feet long or something. And they made this so that when they made their Super Bowl commercial, they could have this big, huge Snickers bar. I mean, when you have that much money that you can afford to make a Snickers bar that big and get on buy a $10 million commercial on the Super Bowl, what does that tell you about that Snickers candy company? They're making a lot of money. People are eating junk. Oh my God, I love to see that Snickers bar. I thought it was funny because it happened in Waco, Texas, where Dr. Pepper, home of Dr. Pepper. There's a lot of interesting things going on in Waco, Texas. Did you know that? So now the medical examiner comes out, an ex-medical examiner comes out and says that what's his name, Jeffrey Epstein, did not kill himself. He was strangled. And he gives all these reasons why it shows that he was strangled. And I've never believed Jeffrey killed himself. And this is another example of, the Bar Justice Department. I mean, they lost the tapes. The guys were sleeping when he killed himself, the guards. The tapes have been destroyed forever. And now it was a cover-up, another cover-up. People, you need to get worried about this administration covering things up. You need to get worried. This is what happens when countries gradually slide into Putin-esque tides.
Coup.
It's happening.
That's what Bill Maher's been saying for 4 years. It's a slow coup.
And he's also saying Trump's not going to leave office if he loses. He's going to say, it was rigged or whatever.
Yeah, well, Trump said the other day that he wasn't going to leave. He says, maybe I'll leave in 10 or 15 years.
This is scary stuff. You better get out and vote against Trump. I don't care who it is or who's running. They got to vote against him. I mean, the guy's so dangerous. Finland, look how lovely Finland is. They're ending homelessness and providing shelter for everyone in need. Why isn't the United States doing that? We have the money to do it. Just the money we spent bombing all the bombs that we send over and all the money that we spend in wars and stuff. I mean, just one of those bombs would probably clean up all of homelessness in Los Angeles. I don't understand. Why are we the last to take care of our own? It's just unbelievable. Studies show, now this is why I don't eat meat. Studies show that cows have a unique moods that express their feelings. These cows have feelings. The little ducks, you see their families always stay together. You can see that all these animals, they saw the kangaroos hugging each other, and you see the little koala bears. All these animals have feelings. They're like little people too. I don't know how people can just go out and shoot them and kill them and eat them. I don't know. I can't. Over 5 billion pizzas are sold yearly every year. Can you believe that?
Yep. 3 of those are at mine. 3 million come to me.
5 billion pizzas a year sold. That's a lot of pizzas. I mean, I didn't realize how many people love pizza. I don't even like pizza that much.
I love it.
I really like it. I mean, it's okay once in a while. Delta had a good year. Listen to what Delta did. I'm going to start flying Delta. They had $1.6 billion in profits. So they're giving every eligible employee, full-time and part-time, a 16.6 annual salary bonus. That's equivalent to 2 months. Isn't that lovely? That's what they were supposed to do with all that tax break money, but Delta did it. Now compare that to Walmart, the Walton family. They make $70 million a minute. That's $4 million an hour, and $1,000 million per day.
Wait, you said $70 million a minute, $4 million an hour.
Yeah.
That's backwards.
$70,000 a minute equals $4 million an hour, and that is an average of $1,000 million per day.
Wow.
So they don't do anything for their employees. They're giving them minimum damn wage.
No, they wanted to fight over the $15.
They're arresting the woman for eating rotisserie chicken in the middle of the floor. She was hungry. So anyway, that was that. And now in politics, oh my God. I don't know if you guys are following the impeachment, but Mitch McConnell is doing the same thing on this impeachment thing that he did with Eric Garland, shutting it down, not letting him get a vote. The same thing he did with Kavanaugh, cramming it through the Senate, getting him approved like there's no other judge in the world that's not controversial that couldn't fit the bill. The same thing that he's done with all those bipartisan bills that the House has passed from the House to the Senate that are sitting in the graveyard, as he calls himself, the Grim Reaper and the Grinch. He's doing the same thing. He's decided he's the judge and the jury. Trump is going to not be convicted, whether he's guilty or not, because they want to maintain power, and they need Trump in power so they can maintain their corruptness, because no one else is going to clean up the corruptness, because Trump's part of the corruptness, just like Mitch and his wife and the rest of them. So he's going to railroad this whole thing through, get an acquittal, so Trump can run around at the State of the Union. Oh, I see I didn't do anything wrong. Take a victory lap and ride it all the way to the election. That's what they're up to. I hope you guys are watching the hearings. They are hiding evidence. They won't let anybody testify. They won't put any documents forward. They know what he did was wrong, and it's one big cover-up, and they're proud of it. They're actually boasting about getting away with it right now. They're like, well, we've got all the documents. They don't have anything. They can't prove anything. They're boasting about it. You got to vote them all out. There used to be a time when the old school Republicans, some of them were like, decent people and
John McCain. He died.
Yeah,
he was the last of the late
ones. The good ones are gone. They've all got to go now. They've all got to go. And the difference in the level of professionalism and information and facts of the Democrats compared to the Republicans, I mean, it's night and day. These Republicans are really embarrassing themselves. I mean, they don't have anything to work with. It's just all puff and smoke and mirrors. It's just embarrassing.
When I was watching those trial lawyers yesterday, I was laughing because, one, they were kind of stumbling over themselves, and two, you didn't hear them one time defend what he had done. All they could do was talk about the process. That was it.
And let's remember, this is a guy, Trump, that was fined $2 million for defrauding 8 charities. After he learned that Seoul, North Korea was close to North Korea, he didn't even know that. He said all 25 million people from Seoul should just pick up and move. This is a doofus. This guy is just a complete idiot. According to the latest poll, 57% of Americans want Trump removed, according to U.S. News. And then in Davos, when the little Greta's making her speech about climate change, Trump is just berating her. I mean, remember, this is a 73-year-old guy that sent 123 incoherent tweets about a 16-year-old girl when she won the Nobel laureate. He was so upset when she got the Times Person of the Year. It's just unbelievable. The guy is just so corrupt. He says, remember, let's not forget, it seems like years ago, but it was just recently that he assassinated a general in the Iranian army. Since when did we start assassinating military leaders in foreign countries? I mean, this is a sovereign country. We don't have the right to do that. I mean, it's just so embarrassing. And then he lied about it. He said, well, they were threatening 4 of our embassies. Well, where's the evidence? There's never been any evidence that they were threatening 4 of our embassies. It's never come out. And the Republicans are still backing this guy. They know Russia's hacking. They know they're trying to screw with our election. They know they're putting trolls out on Facebook. But you know what? They know they needed to win. So they're going to put up with it so that they can win. It's just, I just can't even anymore. Apparently, there was a poll done. The majority of people in 33 nations say that they disapprove of Donald Trump. And now Trump is back to begging Kim Jong-un to start the renegotiations. Remember, Kim Jong-un got everything he wanted. He got him over there. He got the picture. He got all the glamour. And now he's just aggressively, as fast as he can, building up his nuclear arsenal. And Trump is now on his knees like, oh, come on, let's start these negotiations again. And Kim's like, what do I need to negotiate with you for? I got what I wanted, and I'm building my nukes. Oh, my God. It's just sick. Meanwhile, Bloomberg has spent $120 million targeting the swing states. Mm-hmm. And, let's not also forget, everyone's saying, well, the economy is so good. Well, if you had a credit card with an unlimited budget on it, you could go out and live the high life, too. Yeah. He's ran up the deficit $3 trillion. Yeah. Well, of course the economy's good. There's pour money into everything. They spent $60 billion on the farmers to bail them out. When Trump started the trade war, they wouldn't have needed that $60 billion for that. How many homeless people could that take off the street? He's so vindictive that he wants to punish anybody that says anything about him, And so if you don't like what he does, he punishes you. So he holds your money back, or he gives the farmers money to get their votes, or, well, my trade war is working. None of it's working. It's all propaganda.
He created it so he could fix it and make it sound like he did something.
It's just unbelievable. Yeah, and let's not forget those kids in the cages. Apparently now the latest number that I read, there are 5,635, I think it's 4,368 children will never be connected to their family again. Ever. Can you believe that? 4,368 children are lost, never to be connected with their family again. How horrible is that? I just can't. I mean, we've had the deadliest shooting since Trump. $3 million deficit, 13 assassination attempts against Democrats, the deadliest massacre in U.S. history in Pittsburgh, the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history, the deadliest shooting in the U.S. history in Parkland, another one. And so the guns are rampant, the deficit's out of control, the corruption is going crazy, the climate is burning, Kim is building nuclear weapons, he's insulting all of our allies.
Iran
the Kurds,
the
Iran's now our bigger enemy, and they've teamed up with Iraq. I mean, there's no end to it. And what is wrong with American people? I think it's heartbreaking the American people are not taking to the streets.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, I've had a lot of people that I know from other countries that have either reached out to me or friends of mine that are here from other countries and saying, why aren't you all protesting in the streets? You look at what happened in Puerto Rico the other day. You got to give it to that little island and the people that live on that island for standing what they believe in, because day before yesterday, they found that whole warehouse that was full of all of the supplies that never got handed out, and they found it by accident. It was a state thing, and they went and protested. They were calling for the governor to resign yesterday because of the way that was mishandled. And, they were out in front of the mansion protesting and doing the whole thing. We just everybody just goes on about their business and doesn't care. And that's how, things change and the slow coup takes over.
That's what's exactly happening. And in Puerto Rico, too, remember, authorized billions of dollars in aid, and then the mayor said something against Trump, so to be vindictive, he withheld the aid. So now this one place in Ponce had gotten their aid, and I think they're stashing it and saving it for their own little city instead of sharing it with the rest of the island, which isn't really corruption, but it's not good. But on the other hand, you can understand that they were like, listen, this may be our city's only hope for survival. We can't give it all away because we may never see another dollar. That's another Trump-created crisis. If the aid was flowing, they wouldn't feel the need to be protecting theirs for just their own little city. So he created that problem too. So
it's
my
like a
quote
cult,
of the week, my quote of the week, Leah's life lesson: go out gracefully, and I dedicate that to the corrupt Trump. Okay, everybody, so we'll see you next week. Hopefully everybody's back will be working again, and the colds will be gone, and everybody will be back to happy, happy, happy. So I appreciate all of you watching. Go to leahblack.com. Check out the skincare. Start watching for our Valentine specials that'll be coming up. We're going to give a little gift away if you buy something. And we had fun. Did you guys have fun?
Had fun
See you
today.
next week. Oh, and look at my Dan Dutch. Tag Dan Dutch and say, I saw Leah's glasses. They were fabulous. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.